Hi everyone, it's Matt and Helena, founders of Immersive Art Meditation, here again to give you a taste of our workshop series. And it really combines mythical art and storytelling and personal reflection, as well as guided meditation in a 3-hour workshop. And we're just trying to give you a little bit of a feel for that today with Matt's piece as part of his Goddess series. This one is entitled Timeless Vignettes. And it's about the story of Scheharazade, which many of you know from 1001 Arabian Nights. Okay, Matt, would love to hear about this piece and a little bit about the story depicted here.
Absolutely. So this is a timeless story featuring Scheherazade and really centered around her relationship with the Sultan. And I decided to have it in this palace here and all this detail that brings you into this sense, the feeling of this story. So to give you a brief idea of what it is, you had the Sultan who was really betrayed by his queen. She slept with another man, and he had this angst with women. And what happened is he had new women brought to him every night, new brides, and he would just have them killed the next morning. But then Scheherazade came along, actually her sister came along, and Scheherazade consciously chose to take her place. So she knew what she was getting into, but she was very clever, she was very cultured, and very heart-centered. She had all these stories, and she just told the Sultan new stories night after night, but always left him on a cliffhanger. So she would tell the rest of the story the next night. And she did this for 1001 nights. Now, what happened over the course of all of these stories was he underwent this transformation. He actually fell in love with her and experienced a redemption in his being that really went all the way through him. So this really speaks to the power of that healing and redemption that is able to come through the spirit of the feminine.
Thank you. And I'm noticing here right above Scheherazade, we have a genie's lamp. Can you share more about the role that that's playing in the piece?
Yeah, absolutely. So you might see the script here, and this reads Bismillah, which this is a definition that I found for it that I found really inspiring, is the idea of God being written into all things. So you can take this script. The idea is that it can be reconfigured into any different shape. So being able to take any different form, much like it can take the forms of all these different stories that she is really pulling from and really drawing from that are going into this transformation. And so I realized one day as I was creating this that it looks uncannily the shape of a genie's lamp, right? And I love thinking about the meaning of words, like the word genius, like where we get inspiration from, right? And the word actually comes from this idea of spirit speaking ideas into people. So when you have this feeling like this idea came out of nowhere, it seemed to come to you, right? So she's tapped right into the spirit of this genius that is flowing through her, and she's embodying it, and it is going right into the Sultan here. You can see he's really laid bare and transparent and open in a very deep and powerful way.
Wow. And how do you relate to this story and this piece that you've made in your own life?
I can definitely say that I've undergone many different transformations in my life, many of which I've had to come to the point where I had to reconcile with my own self. I had to reconcile with my own aggression, my own angst, and have to give myself forgiveness, and thankfully receive forgiveness from others. And that's so much of what this piece represents to me, and what inspires me through this piece is the power of that redemption and healing that can take a person and make them into a new person, and a more enlivened version of themselves, a more healed and fluid and open version of themselves. So you can embody both sides at the same time. You don't have to have this division within yourself. You can bring those parts together and unite them.
Hmm. And the other thing that I see in this is the importance of storytelling. And that's why we focus so much on creativity in whatever form it takes, because art is storytelling, and sitting down with a friend and talking is storytelling, theater, political discourse, all of these things, we utilize stories. And we want to be careful about the kind of stories that we are sharing and making sure that they're real, that they're authentic, and that they're a gift to the world, and that they further our own contribution and what we truly believe in. So that's some of what I hear in Matt sharing here. And I would invite you to get a journal and write these questions down so that you can apply this to your own life. The first question is, what is the role of storytelling in your life? And the second is about co-creation. So the lamp and Bismillah representing letting spirit or creativity or God, however you want to name that, flow through you and animate you and allow you to do powerful and magical things in your life. So just a contemplation, and whether that shows up as a journal entry or poetry or whatever it shows up for you, about how you show up and tell a story, but in co-creation with something else, something that might animate and bless you in that process. So thanks so much for joining us today for a taste of immersive art meditation, and we look forward to seeing you soon.